Are you skeptical about the value of integrated business planning? If you're not, you should be. Integrated business planning, as most know it today, is not supporting the strategies pursued by most global manufacturers, like those shown on the screen. What's being experienced is that the traditional 5-step process is too simplistic for them, and enabling software solutions lack capabilities that are needed to effectively manage complexity. The reality is that most solutions focus on this 5-step process, supporting immature forms of integration that we refer to as Tactical IBP. Mature processes and solutions, on the other hand, provide the means to plan, manage, and govern outcomes. We call this Strategic IBP. What differentiates the two is the ability to manage complexity, the cost of which can approach 5% of sales, and it is this source of value that separates Strategic and Tactical IBP. For a global manufacturer of $10 billion in sales, the difference between the two can be significant, between $1 and $2 billion over a 5-year period, and depending on the situation, sometimes more. This value difference is driven by 4 incremental capabilities that Tactical IBP doesn't support. What's missing from Tactical IBP are formal capabilities for eliminating functional silos, optimizing performance, providing accurate and complete forward visibility, and processes that can respond quickly to change. More specifically, Tactical IBP processes are missing the capabilities shown on the screen. These capability gaps are outlined in more detail in separate videos. What's more, Tactical IBP processes lack the ability to drive meaningful behavior changes that promote a business owner mentality combined with more effective employee engagement. While all 4 of these capabilities are important, managing outcomes and trade-offs is especially so. Because without it, manufacturers lack formal capabilities for achieving the business objectives that most are pursuing, especially when it comes to sustainable cost reduction, or as some call it, continuous cost optimization, a precondition for achieving profitable growth. Research consistently shows that most organizations don't sustain cost reductions for more than 3 years. Evidence of this and other forms of value erosion caused by these 4 capability gaps is provided by the summary of research results shown on the screen, details of which are available in separate videos. These different forms of value erosion comprise the value gap between Strategic and Tactical IBP. Without a defined plan to achieve Strategic IBP, it can also take longer to realize its potential value. Global manufacturers must be aware of this time-to-value gap. They must also appreciate how the absence of such a plan can lead to unnecessary costs. This includes redundant software and duplicated activities performed in both finance and operations, non-value-added activities caused by missing capabilities or duplicated work, and higher investment costs caused by duplicated and unnecessary implementation tasks. Maximizing the value of IBP investments starts with an understanding of one reality, that cash flow forecasting effectiveness is a leading indicator of maturity, and it is also one of the most problematic processes in global manufacturers. Addressing this challenge requires an understanding that sales and operations planning and rolling forecasts comprise one process, a key focus of which must be cash flow forecasting, and more specifically, cash-based scenario planning. What's especially important in making such processes a reality is understanding the role that IBP platforms play in embedding prescriptive analytics into one shared workflow that supports strategy, finance, and operations. Establishing such processes also requires that organizations resist the temptation to follow the crowd to Tactical IBP, since most have not recognized the difference between Strategic and Tactical IBP processes. In summary, maximizing the value of integrated business planning investments requires that manufacturers look beyond the hype and claims of those claiming to provide fully integrated solutions. In this context, the phrase caveat emptor has never been more appropriate. The insights in this and other videos should help you with this. Thank you for watching this video. For further details about its contents, please feel free to use the contact information shown on the screen.